Unlocking Success, the 5 Keys to an Entrepreneur's Empowerment. So welcome to you, your WBDC team, and under the Illinois SBDC also. My name's Maura Mitchell. I'm Managing Director of Entrepreneurial Business Programs and Services, Division 2. I've been at the WBDC for over 6 years and have helped about 2,500 people. And then we have Felicitas here. Felicitas, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Felicitas Cortez, and I am on Maura's team, Entrepreneurial Service Program and Services Division 2. I'm also a director with the Illinois Small Business Development Center at the Women's Business Development Center. I'm not quite sure how many clients I've serviced so far, not as many as Maura, but I've been with the WBDC for nearly 3 years, and I love working with clients in all phases of their business journey.
Thank you, Felicitas. So you can book one-on-one advising sessions with any of the 3 of us, and we help you from startup to succession planning.
And I just have to give a shout out to Maura, who was my coach, helping me start Deborah Sienna Leadership Solutions. So they're terrific and an incredible resource for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so the Women's Business Development Center has been around since 1986. Our tagline is "We ignite business growth," and we do that through access to capital, access to connections, and access to contracts, whether it be corporate contracts, government contracts, or exporting contracts. But please go to our website and you will learn more about us. www.wbdc.org. So I'm going to introduce Deborah, but before I introduce, I have a favor to ask of everyone. I would love it if you turned on your cameras, because tomorrow is SBDC Day. And what I need to do is take a screenshot of everyone, if I can do this now.
Are you going to put us in a classroom or in a Zen garden?
No, just like, oh, I got to stop sharing. If I stop sharing, I will stop sharing, and then I can do it this way. And I got to turn off my video, and mine will say SBDC Day. If everyone could turn on your video just for a short, quick photo for happy SBDC Day. Tomorrow's SBDC Day, and SBDCs are small business development centers that are funded in Illinois by the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. So we thank them for helping us get our job done, and they fund us to do all the good work within the community. Okay, thank you. I'm going to do a quick couple photos. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me see. I just have to make sure I get it.
Hi, Maura. I'm doing audio, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be with the text.
Okay, I understand. This was kind of a last minute thing. And I got the photo, so I am set. And so now I can introduce Deborah, and she can get started on what we're here for. So Deborah Sienna is an esteemed international board member, speaker, writer, consultant, coach, mentor, and advisor in the fitness and well-being industry. She began her journey at Midtown Athletic Clubs after graduating with honors from the University of Illinois. Over 30 plus years, she ascended to the role of president of Midtown Health, contributing to the expansion of the organization from 4 to 32 health clubs and wellness centers. In 2023, she became a certified executive coach, and she founded Deborah Sienna Leadership Solutions. Leveraging her robust track record of elevating businesses' profitability with her passion for inspiring others towards positive change, Deborah now serves as a leadership coach, a creative consultant, and a team catalyst, collaborating with organizations, leaders, and their teams to ignite results-driven success. So welcome to Deborah. Thank you for joining us today, and I will let you take it from here. I guess the one question is, if people put questions in the chat, do you want us to stop you or save them for the end?
I'm going to try to address them as I go, but if it's something I'm going to address further on in the presentation, I might just put a pin in it and keep going. But I'd love for this to be as interactive as possible. But I have a ton of stuff I want to share, so I'm going to try to balance my energy and our time to get it all done.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. All right, I am going to start sharing, and I am going to go to the PowerPoint. And if the technology gods are with me, you're all seeing that. Yes, somebody give me a thumbs up.
We are.
Okay, terrific. All right, awesome. So I am thrilled that you are here with me today. And I'd love to know who I have with me with regards to what your business is. So I'd love to hear where you're at with regards to what business you might be in. Does anybody want to share that in the chat for me? And Maura, oh, there's the chat. Okay, I got it. I got you. Okay, insurance agent, terrific. Business coach, terrific. Life coach and hypnotist, a bookstore, an HR consultant, manufacturing. I love it. Kids, a psychologist, a boutique. Oh, that's awesome. So we have a whole variety, exercise physiologist, a voiceover artist. Oh my goodness sakes, what a terrific group that we have here of entrepreneurs and business people making things happen. And what is it that you would like, again, because this workshop is really for you, what is it that attracted you to this title, or what would you really like to get out of this time we're going to spend together for the next 50 minutes? Anybody want to share anything in the chat, making it worthwhile? Oh, great. Tips from women leaders. Love it. That I can do. That I got. How to be confident in your abilities. Awesome. Okay, great. Terrific. Confidence, imposter syndrome. All right. We are right on this. Tenacity. All right. We're going to get this. I have a spark up here because I like the concept of a spark. In that if anything comes to mind while I'm talking with regards to something that you find inspiring or an action item that you'd like to do, I call those sparks. And so please make sure that you have your favorite note-taking vehicle handy so that you your spark, so that we're not just listening for an hour or participating for an hour, but that you really have some meat and potatoes to take away with you today. So start a little bit with my story. I know Maura gave me a very proper professional introduction. But my story is such that I started in
you froze.
and
Wow.
yes.
So maybe you want to take off your video?
Oh, I am so sorry about that. Let me see if I can. I am back. I am going to share my screen again. And we're going to try this again with my camera. Okay, is that better?
Yes, it seems to be.
Okay, terrific. So my story is such that I started as an entrepreneur when I was just about 5 years old. The Old Town Art Fair in Chicago happened in my neighborhood, and I would spend weeks in advance preparing artwork to sell on a fence for pennies. And I would never sell anything, but fortunately, my pop at the end would come with a quarter and buy it all. But I had that entrepreneurial spirit as a very young child. I then got into dance and fitness and tried to pursue that, but ended up moving into the corporate world for over 30 years, where I climbed the corporate ladder, as Maura shared, ending up being the president of an organization in which I had about 2,800 associates and 36 locations across the US. I also wanted to share my story in that a big part of my story is my husband of 32 years and my fur baby, Nikki. So we all have a story, and part of this, part of being an entrepreneur is making sure that you incorporate all of your life and all of your priorities into what you do every day. And so wanted to share that with you. Moving forward, I'd like to really start by talking about what success means to you and what your definition of success is. So many people launch their business as an entrepreneur, and it's really important that as an entrepreneur that you understand what your vision of success is and not what someone else's. And so I like to use what I call the entrepreneur's dashboard for doing this. And it really is a component of many items. First of all, it's your story, and I shared mine, but what brought you here? Really asking yourself, what brought me here, and why is this important to me? What your mission and purpose is, again, that's the why behind what you do. It's so important to understand the real reason of what gets you up in the morning and what it is that you're focusing on and why, what your purpose is and why you're going to do it. Acknowledging your superpowers. Some of you mentioned in the chat about imposter syndrome and your challenges with that. And so knowing what your edge is and what differentiates you from everyone else who's in the same industry. What are you passionate about? Of all the things you're capable of doing, which do you really love doing the most? What gets you up in the morning? What excites you? What motivates you the most? What impact do you want to have? How do you leverage those capabilities? So many of us are capable of doing so many things, but what is it that you're most passionate about to drive you to want to do that on a daily basis? And then when you look ahead, when you think 20 years from now, what's your legacy? What is it that you'd really like to be remembered for? When people say, oh yeah, Deborah Sienna, she, what is it? What is that impact or legacy that you'd like to have? And I believe all of those components, it's what drives you to your vision, and knowing what your personal vision is for your success. Does anybody want to share what their vision is in the chat for success for themselves? I'll give it a second. Nobody wants to share. Okay, that's okay. Nope. Oh, here, oh, having a successful bookstore. There you go, Nubia. See, very simple. It's that you want your business to be sick. You're looking to launch your first LLC. You want meaningful work. And your vision is the answer to all those questions. You're exactly right, Stacy. That's golden. That's exactly right. I found in order to be able to create my vision, which is that I will lead a business that inspires and collaborates with organizations, leaders, and teams to have the confidence and competence to ignite results-driven success. I had to go through this exercise of knowing what is my story, my purpose, my superpowers, my passion, my impact, and my legacy. I love it. To empower 1 million women of color worldwide. That's an audacious goal, and I love it. It's a VHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. I'm sure some of you have heard that before, and it's fabulous. So being able to know all of those components and then put those together into your vision is so important. And then writing that vision down so that you can articulate it and then be able to manifest that vision through self-empowerment. And the idea of self-empowerment is really the process of enabling yourself to gain control over your own life and being confident in your ability to make and execute informed decisions and take actions to achieve that vision and goal. It means making a conscious decision to take charge of your destiny to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. And that's And that really is the difference. We hear empowerment so much when we are leaders and we have employees and we talk about empowering others. But really today, what we're going to talk about is self-empowerment, what it is we need to do to empower ourselves to move forward. And I came up with an acronym for this, Empower. And for those of you that don't use the pronoun her, I apologize, but it just fits so perfectly. But I really want to talk about 5 keys that I think are critical to self-empowerment. Embracing self-belief, maintaining self-preservation, prioritizing your values and goals, optimizing your energy, working towards action. And those are the 5 things that we're going to spend our time talking about today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is embracing self-belief to fuel your business. You know, I really believe that successful people are not born, they make themselves that way. For every example that you can give of someone who may have won the genetic lottery, you have equal examples of someone who has overcome incredible hardship to accomplish what they achieved. When I first started dating my husband, Bill, he was in medical sales, my husband of 32 years. He was in medical sales and he was going to do a big presentation at the Mayo Clinic. He sold $100,000 ultrasound equipment. And as he was leaving, I said to him, good luck. And he said to me, luck has nothing to do with it. So I said, good skill. And from now on, we say to each other, we have forever good skill. Now, there is a bit of luck involved, absolutely, and things absolutely happen that are out of our control. But what is in our control is how we choose to react to those things that happen to us, how we respond to those circumstances. And you need to be able to believe in yourself to really unlock your own business potential, your professional potential. It's like, how many of you feel like your day is a video game? Except you can never turn it off. You can never put the control down. You can't quit. And it comes down to, are you a victim or a passenger of what is happening in your business, or are you the one driving? You know, people who believe they're in control of their own destiny or can make things happen rather than giving in to external concepts such as fate or luck or circumstances are much more likely to be able to take charge of their own future, which is why you need to cultivate this idea of self-belief by leveraging what you captured as your vision on your entrepreneur success dashboard and acknowledging your own superpowers, pursuing your passions, and really trusting your ability to drive. Yet some of us, regardless of how confident or how much we've accomplished and how much we can do, still lack the confidence to take calculated risks. And we know what that is. Some of you shared that in what you're hoping to get out of that. That's the dreaded imposter syndrome, the condition of feeling anxious and not experience success internally, despite being so incredibly high performing in so many external and objective ways. Women with imposter syndromes often have the mindset that their success is due to luck or a fluke or good timing, rather than their own abilities and their own work ethic. And that really holds them back from being able to start, launch, or grow their business. They also feel that they really must overwork themselves to achieve these impossibly high standards that they've set for themselves. And the question really is that you need to try to let go of these feelings of doubt and fear and really acknowledge the quantifiable things that you have accomplished, and then base your growth and confidence on those. Because the reality is, fear is a liar. I want you to just soak that in for 1 minute, because I actually had this on my, up on my, this is my screensaver. Because when you start to doubt yourself, you need to ask yourself, why am I doubting my abilities when I have already accomplished? And a great thing to do is to keep a journal of your accomplishments, or keep it in your notes, or make that your screensaver. So you can remind yourself that where you are is not, and how far you've gotten professionally is not by luck or by chance. It's because of the way you educated yourself. It's because of the way you present yourself, and it's because of what you've accomplished. And so quantify those accomplishments and believe in your own abilities. So many of us worry about the past and, or I'm sorry, regret what happened in the past and worry about what's going to happen in the future. And that makes us question about where we are now. If you can change that regret into learning from the past, so instead of regretting what happened, acknowledge what happened, and then say, what can I learn from that to move forward? And instead of worrying about the future, I don't know if I'm going to get clients, I don't know if I can make payroll, I don't know if this business is going to grow, plan for the future. And if you can replace regret and worry with learning and planning, you have much more of the mental ability to be in the moment and not be fearful of that moment, but to be experiencing that moment. It's so important that you believe in the light that you have inside you and you don't constantly doubt it. And if you do doubt it, you question yourself again, why there is so much doubt and what you can do to negate that doubt by once again acknowledging your education, your accomplishments, and the recognition that you've gotten from so many others. My second key is maintaining your self-preservation. Many of you have heard the expression that self-care is not selfish. Self-care really means taking care of yourself. And we've all heard the story or the analogy of the airline mask, right? You have to put your mask on first in order to help others. But yet we don't do that. You know, as women, we so often are willing to do everything and everyone for everyone else, but not able to do it for ourselves. And we even feel guilty about giving ourselves time and attention. I think that a big part of that is that we don't treat ourselves like someone we love. And yet, if we don't take care of ourselves, we're not in any position or place to take care of anyone else. Another reason why we feel imposter syndrome so much is because we feel we need to take care of everyone else or be in control of everything and think that if we work harder, we can be more in control. And some of us may be control freaks. I'll speak for myself. But the big part of that is that's impossible because you can't control everything. And it's frustrating, it's self-defeating. And once again, it makes us question our own abilities. And so what we need to do is really acknowledge what's in our control, what we are able to control. And that is how we think about things, how we act, how we present ourselves, how we spend our time, how we manage our energy, how we set our goals, how we handle challenges, and define what our boundaries are, and then acknowledge and accept all the things that are out of our control, what others do. Once again, the past, we can't regret it, we can learn from it. What others think, who cares what others think? There are always going to be someone who thinks greater of you and lesser than you. What do you think of yourself? External circumstances that happen around you. Again, worrying about the future. Can you plan for the future? The outcome of your efforts. Your efforts will be rewarded by yourself if you do what it is that you're in control of. How others take care of themselves is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to take care of yourself and not really care what anybody else thinks about that. Because once again, if you don't take care of yourself, you're not good enough. You're not going to be in any position to be able to take care of anyone else. You really need to accept the fact that you deserve kindness, love, and respect. So many of you give that to everybody else, and yet you don't give that to yourself. And so the takeaway from here is to really treat yourself like someone you love. I'm going to take a pause here and look in the chat and see any sparks at this point from what I've said so far. Oh, I love false evidence. Be your own best friend. That's a great one. Anything else anybody wants to share? Fair, false evidence appearing real? Any sparks or takeaways at this point? Am I going too fast or can I keep rolling? I needed to hear my values is not what I do, but who I am. I love it. Be your own cheerleader. Beautiful. Beautiful. Exactly. If you don't prop yourself up, who else? Who will? Right? All right. Terrific. Okay. So moving on, our third key is to prioritize our values and goals. And I like a puzzle for this because it's really imperative that your business and personal values align with your priorities so that you can make effective and strategic decisions. You need to be able to recognize what matters most to you in order to achieve your version of personal and professional harmony. Visualize, what does that look like to you? We used to talk a lot about work-life balance, like they were two different things competing for our energy. But the truth is, as an entrepreneur, your work or business is you. And so you can't have yourself competing with yourself. And so what's important is how your business and you having your own business, whether it be a solopreneur, an entrepreneur of yourself, or with 2,800 employees, harmonizes with the rest of your priorities. You need to really create a healthy, coherent relationship between the various aspects of your life, such as your business, your personal life, and your well-being. Again, prioritizing your values and goals, not what you think others want you to do or what you should be doing. How many of you, and you can put in the chat, constantly say, I should do this or I should do that? Anybody? All the time. Yeah, constantly. The problem is that we should all over ourselves. And should is not it is not a word that respects your intentions, what you should be doing and what you want to be doing or could be doing or are capable of doing or able to do is really where you need to focus your time and attention, not what you think you should be doing because of other people's opinions or thoughts or demands or input. I love it. Somebody just shared about authenticity. Indeed, we need to be audacious and take chances. We need to be authentic to ourselves. And that's a great question to ask yourself as you're prioritizing your values and goals. Is this the authentic me, or is this what I think I should be doing because someone else said that? Should does not respect your intentions. Thank you so much for repeating it again, Stacy. It doesn't. It doesn't respect your authentic intentions. It's something we put on ourselves because of guilt, because of shame. Once again, because we're saying things, because we're doing things, because we're acting in a way. I love it. You can make a list of shoulds, and then you can make a list of what you really want to do, what your list of intentions are. Okay. It's a result of what training your mind to process life as it is, being in the moment and doing what's best for you. I just saw a question come up in the chat here. I'm completely comfortable in line my business. I'm also fulfilled with my present status. That's great. That's terrific. Absolutely. People will ask, my husband and I traveled all the time. We were world travelers. We loved to travel. And I used to always chit chat about, people would say, where are you going next? And I want to hear about your latest adventure. And truly, since the pandemic, we've kind of shut down and we're in nesting mode. And it's not that we can't get back out there again. It's just that we're choosing not to at this point. And I'm completely comfortable with that. But many people still in my network say, tell me about your latest vacation. And I'm like, well, I went from the kitchen into the living room and then back into the kitchen. And then I went on the balcony and then the deck and I went upstairs. It's not the answer they're looking for, but it's where I'm at right now. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm embracing my own intentions as opposed to what other people think I should be doing. And it's so important that we hold that true to ourselves. Our fourth key is to optimize our energy. And I like to use the concept of energy instead of time, because time is finite. We only have so many hours in the day, but energy is not. We can manage our energy by deciding how much we want to give, when and where and to whom within the time we all have. So you need to be able to protect your energy, to protect your well-being so that your business is both productive and profitable. So the first thing is that I highly recommend is to surround yourself with people who give you energy and not those who take energy. You need to eliminate the vampires in your business. Does anybody have vampires in their business or in their life? Telling them what they can't do, what they shouldn't do, what they're not doing, what they're supposed to do. Yeah, we're going to have to get out those silver stakes and those chisels and hang garlic around our neck or whatever you do to eliminate the vampires in your life. From a business perspective, really choose not to feed them. Don't fuel them. I always like to say, don't let them live rent-free in your head. When we're always thinking about the negative, when we're always thinking about what we should be doing, when we're shooting all over ourselves, when we're thinking about people who have had a negative influence or a negative impact on us, and we're dwelling on that and regretting it or mourning it or beating ourselves up over it. The question is mouth breathers. I love it. The question is, why are you letting them live rent-free in your head? Don't feed that wolf. Don't give them that. You know, move forward and use that space to look forward, to create, to take care of yourself, to optimize your own energy and think what you can do instead to move yourself forward. The tool that I use with regards to how I manage my energy and how I both protect it and spend it is I use a system called the 4D system. It's ancient, but it's always worked for me. In that when something comes my way, I think I have 4 options. First of all, does it even have to be done? Can I just drop it? Somebody asks you to do something, you know, can you say no? How many of you have trouble saying no? Once again, chat with me. Anybody have trouble saying no to things? I know you do. Yes, thank you for playing. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is the hardest word. So let's practice. Everybody put no in the chat. I want to see 10 no's. No. There you go. It's a small but powerful word. Indeed. I mean, does it deserve your energy and align with your personal and professional harmony and goals? Or is it just another distraction? Is it just something on your to-do list? You know, it's a really small thing, but I don't do surveys. And Maura, I'm sorry, because I know the Women's Business Development Center does surveys. And some I do if it's important and I want to promote it. But how many surveys do we get? And how many of you feel like you have to answer a survey? I mean, they're little things, but if you just decide, yeah, no, exactly, beautiful. Saying no is the thing that helps her say yes to something else. It's a wonderful practice, Tracy. Congratulations on how it helps you think and shifts your mindset. And so that's the very first thing when a task or a situation or a request comes my way is does it align with my personal and professional harmony and goals? And if not, I'm going to drop it. The next one is delegate. And I don't mean delegate in the sense of if you don't have any employees, particularly as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, but really asking, oh, do I have to be the one doing this? Focus your energy on the non-negotiables for your business, your priorities or your sparks or your action plan, and ask for help for the things that might need to get done, but you don't personally be the one that has to do it. I just saw come up in the chat, Stacy talked about get nervous saying no if I'm missing an opportunity or what if. Personally, I'm just challenged with conflict avoidance. It's really interesting. Conflict avoidance. I think, Stacy, the best way to decide if you're going to want to say no or not to a professional opportunity is to put it through that filter of what your definition of success is, of what your vision is, of what your action plan is, of will it help you get to where you want to go? Because yes, we all have a lot of opportunities, but again, we only have so much time. And so we really have to figure out what is worth our time or what is worth putting our energy in. And so filters to use for saying no are, is this going to help me get to where I want to go? Is this a building block towards my vision, towards my personal and professional harmony? Yeah, exactly. Going back to your vision is the filter for everything that you do to move you forward and make that happen. My pleasure. If it's something that you can't drop or you can't get help with, and again, help, here's another topic that women are often very challenged with, and I speak for myself, but asking for help, right? Because we all look so damn good in that brass bra, and we're all Wonder Women that, we can do it. We can take it on our shoulder. We can move mountains, and you can't, right? Virtual assistants, great suggestion, Joyce. That's a fabulous suggestion. Are terrific and very impressive. ChatGPT is amazing. So much that can get done now virtually. And then asking others around you for help, asking peers, asking your network. If you know someone who's really, really good at something, asking them to review it or proof it or move it forward or share it or share the, and then share the reward of it as well. Some of my friends and other executive coaches and women in business development are on the phone, or excuse me, are watching in right now, and I really appreciate them. Marissa, my friend, has a company where she does executive coaching for manufacturing companies and team building. If I get an opportunity in that, I say no to it, but I would move it in her direction because that's what she's best at. Utilize the resources around you because that's not where I want to grow. That doesn't fit into my vision statement. Another peer on the phone, Michelle Blakely, she helps entrepreneurs develop their business. Again, use your network and pass it on, give to get. Push things in their direction and they'll push things in your direction as we all help each other rise to the top. If you can't drop or delegate something, then ask yourself the last two questions. Delay. Does this have to be done right now? Try not to let your phone, others' expectations, things get in the way of what really you need to be doing now to move your vision forward. And then schedule it so that you do get it done and you don't forget it, make a note of it, but once again, get it out of your mind so that you can focus on what's really important and what you really need to do. So many people are like Pavlov's dog, where their text bell rings and they immediately have to look at their phone. It doesn't mean jump just because someone else wants you to jump. You once again have to use your own filters of what do I want to focus my energy and time on right now to make my vision come true. And then, of course, it's do it. Just do it. Get it done. Focus your energy on getting the most important tasks done instead of trying to multitask. I know you know that even a temporary shift in your attention from one task to another increases the time necessary to finish that primary task by as much as 25%. We all think we're so good at multitasking, and we can. Multitasking is something that, if you're doing things that don't take your brain power or a lot of energy, yeah, you can be emptying the dishwasher while you're, maybe chatting with a friend and, maybe doing a load of laundry, but those are very different than when you're thinking about marketing your business or attracting your next client or putting together a proposal versus when you really need to have that focused energy. So you need to intentionally schedule that time for your work to work both on your business and in your business. And we all know that there's a difference between on your business and in your business. On your business is helping to grow your business. It's all the logistics. It's all the things that you need to be able to make the business happen. And in your business is when you're actually making it happen, when you're actually producing the product or selling the books or doing the coaching or doing the voiceover, as some of you shared are some of your particular businesses that you're focusing on. You need to really turn off those distractions, tell others not to disturb you unless it's an emergency, and then focus in. I just see somebody shared Janicki. I hope I said that right. Not being able to rely on others. Yeah, a perfect is the enemy of really, really good. And sometimes we got to let someone else do this really, really good and not be perfect so that we can move forward. Because once again, a big part of empowering yourself is to let go of the need to be a perfectionist. There is no such thing as perfect. And once we accept that and say, this is good enough, or this is really good, and others tell us this is good, and others are buying what we're selling that's really good, we can let go of that concept that it has to be perfect in order for us to be able to move forward. When you do the focused energy, again, studies have shown that it's so much more efficient if you can, block out 90 to 120 minutes, really focus in, really channel your energy into that, and then take at least a 10-minute break. You'll be amazed at how much you get accomplished than if you tried to do that task throughout the day, multitasking. I love it. Tina, thanks for sharing. Yeah, being a perfectionist hurts your business. Being excellent, being really good, doing things in other ways is often exactly what you need to be able to move forward. And then my fifth key for you is to work towards action, because all of this is great, but if you don't make it happen, if you don't really set SMART goals for yourself and commit them to paper, it's not going to happen. So I've all heard of SMART goals. Obviously they have to be specific and measurable. So, when you cross the goal line, when you sunk the basket, when you checkmate, when you got it done. You have to be able to quantify it. It has to be achievable. It has to be reasonable. You can't. I don't want to tell you what you can and can't do. But if you put yourself in a position of saying the first year in business, I'm going to make $100,000, that might not be a realistic goal. And then you never have that sense of accomplishment. You never feel like you've achieved what you're going to achieve. You have to be very realistic about what it is you can achieve. It's like if you're going to lose weight and you say, I have to lose 100 pounds. It's overwhelming. It's impossible. And so you don't even know how to start. And then when you only lose 4 pounds, you feel defeated because it was only 4 pounds. cut it into chewable chunks. An expression I say that drives my husband crazy is, how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. And it is, you got to break it into chewable chunks so that it's achievable and realistic. And then you have to make it time bound. You really do need to say, by when are you going to get something done? And so for me, when I set a goal for myself, I make sure that it contains 3 very important things. And really within one sentence, it's, what action do I need to do to get the result I want to have by when? So it's action, result, by when. And that's very different than doing a to-do list where you write stuff down and you cross it off. It's, what is it you're going to do to produce what result to get by when? By when are you going to accomplish this? And once again, using your vision, your vision of success as the filter of what you put on that list of goals to accomplish. And you really need to be assertive. You need to make yourself heard. You know, people who strive towards personal self-empowerment, they really have to be comfortable expressing their own thoughts, their ideas, and their needs. You know, if you're invited to do something, or somebody wants you to do something, but it doesn't fit with what you need to do, you know, you have to notify that person or tell that person, I'd love to do this right now, but I can't because I need to whatever. And you don't even need to tell them what you need to do. You just once again have to go back to declining and putting your priorities first. Or if you're collaborating with someone, or if someone is helping you, or you're paying someone to be an employee or be part of a project, you know, don't feel guilty about addressing the situation if they're not doing their share or they're not living up to their standards. Once again, it's clarifying your expectations and then holding them accountable for what it is that they said they would help you to do. So the best way really to take action is by putting this whole dashboard together. And this is how I'm going to kind of bring it home a bit. And that is that first, really fueling your personal success dashboard is truly by embracing self-belief, you know, really trusting in your own superpowers, maintaining self-preservation by treating yourself like someone you love, prioritizing your values and goals by maintaining your personal and professional harmony, optimizing your energy, the whole concept of, can I drop, delegate, delay, or do, and then working towards action with SMART goals. So I'm going to pause here and once again ask for any sparks. I'm going to turn on my camera and hope I don't. I'm going to try and turn on my camera. Let's see. Well, that's not working. So I will stay here for, oh, here we go. I think I found it. Nope. Okay. Anyway, any sparks that anyone wants to share with regards to what I've just talked about? Any takeaways? Go ahead.
Someone
Laura?
asked if you could please repeat the modified action. Oh, I just lost it. Sentence. The modified action sentence instead of the to-do list as an alternative.
Yeah.
Alternative to the to-do list.
Yes, absolutely. The sentence is, what action do I need to do to get the result I want by when? And so the concept there really is your action, your result, and then your timeline by when. Oh, someone said the session was better than their lunch. I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
Hi, this
There
is
we
Tracy
go.
Alvarez. instead of can I ask verbally? Because my
You
comment
sure
would be way
can,
too long.
Tracy. Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you for a great session. My question is, so I am a pelvic floor physical therapist. I have a lot of patients that carry, emotional, mental, and physical things in their body. And so many times words and verbiage and the messaging that you're saying is, although it's wonderful, it can feel sometimes hard for people who are already really, really depleted. It can feel sometimes overwhelming. And so my patient population, or even some of my friends, and sometimes myself, you're stuck in the overwhelming. Yes, this leadership coach is telling me this. And yes, the wisdom, I'm reading this information, I'm seeing it all here, but how it feels sometimes too much, or kind of like the words are easier said than done kind of a thing. So my question is, how do you, I know how I do it as a pelvic floor therapist with patients. I know how I kind of do it for myself, for my friends. With your business experience, what's your thoughts on this sort of conversation of how do you can tell a woman this, you can tell a business leader this, I can tell a patient this, the getting them the support, the work, the movement, I use music, art, all kind of different things. But how do you in business try to then do that to make the connection? And the spark is a great word for that individual. What's your thoughts on that? Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, Tracy. And it sounds like you're doing a lot of great things. And I guess I'll start by saying I'm a business person. I'm not a psychologist. And so I don't mean to overstep my bounds with regards to people who truly need to talk to someone who's much more knowledgeable with regards to enabling them to wrap their heads around the ability to move forward. From a business perspective, I know that if I can give someone the resources and tools and then trust them to move forward with that and be relentlessly supportive of them, that's the best I can do as a friend or as a business person or as a coach, is constantly reminding them and trying to show them, leading by example, being that positive energy, giving them resources, books, articles, notes, inspirational quotes, like you said, music, visuals. How do they best relate or communicate, or how do they like to be communicated to? And then trying to work in that comfort zone so that they can embrace these concepts. I'm seeing some other things, some other takeaways. Are there any other questions?
I have a
would
quick
like to ask?
question.
Yes.
And
Hi,
thank you so
Huda.
much. Hi, Deborah. This has been amazing. And I find it fascinating, the 90-minute, 120 minutes where you can block and actually focus on one thing. And I find it easy for me to do that naturally when I'm working on something that I'm enjoying. What's your advice when you know that you need to do it? You sift through the 4Ds, you have to do it, but it's really something you're not enjoying, and you need to put that focus. And I know you said you're not a psychologist. I think I'm an undiagnosed ADHD, so that thing that I don't want to work in, and that's what I teach my clients, but I really find struggle. So is there any advice you have?
Yeah, Huda, there's lots of stuff we don't like to do in business, right? I mean, it'd be wonderful if we could just all do everything we liked. When I was in corporate America, one of the techniques I would use for myself is if I was going to go on vacation and try to unplug, or if I was going to go to a conference, what are the things I have to get done before I go, to discipline myself to do both the things I love to do and the things I didn't like to do. I also would schedule things I liked to do in between things I didn't like to do. So you almost reward yourself, right? You're, you know, in a bit, you're playing a game, but it's, you know, if I can get this spreadsheet done or finish this budget, that I need to do, and I focus it on for 1 hour, I can spend a half hour creating my PowerPoint. Or, you know, so it's a reward system of giving and taking, so that, because if you, as you know so well, Huda, if you push that thing until it's due, then you got to spend 6 hours on it, and it's a nightmare. Where, you know, once again, my elephant thing, if you can cut that thing into chewable chunks and say, I know the spreadsheet's going to take me 3 hours, I'll do it from 9 to 10, 1 to 2, and 4 to 6, or 4 to 5. And then in between, I'll do things I like and take breaks. It's a way of scheduling with yourself. I'm a big one on having a schedule, so that, I mean, in my Outlook schedule now, you know, I put when I'm going to do what, and I call audibles and give myself flexibility. But I think, especially as entrepreneurs, as business women with our own business, you know, we have a tendency to do and lean into what we like best, but sometimes that's not what's most profitable for us or what really needs to get done. My pleasure. Joyce just suggested, if it's difficult, she does it first to knock it out, which is great. Absolutely, you can have my email. It's Deborah at DeborahSiennaLeadershipSolutions.com. And my website is Deborah Sienna Leadership Solutions. I know it's long, I'm sorry. I tried to get DSLS, but DSL took it. Any other questions or comments or thoughts? We have just a couple minutes. I would love for any of you to reach out to me anytime. My email is 100% available. If you'd like any particular slides from my PowerPoint, like the one on unlocking your entrepreneur dashboard, or the 4Ds, I'm happy to send you a slide or two. I'm not going to send you the slide with my husband and my puppy. But I'm happy to share with you if there's a particular question or anything you want to follow up. I'd be delighted to reply. Nora, thank you for sharing your treasure with us. Who is that?
Sorry, this is Xavier. He woke up from his nap a little early.
Hi, Xavier. Now this is what Wonder Woman looks like. Okay, ladies, just for the record. And that is business life harmony right there. Thank you for sharing. All right, I will
so much.
turn it over to Maura. Thank you, Maura.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you to Deborah. We appreciated your presentation and your knowledge and your wisdom. I know I'm going to be saying no to things.
Wonderful.
Okay. If you would like the video, you can email me, and because I recorded this session, you can email me and I'll put my email in the chat.
And I'll put mine as well. Very quickly. I'm sorry, I talk much faster than I type.
Well, thank you
Make
all for joining us. Enjoy your afternoon, and remember that you can always come for no cost one-on-one advising services if you are stuck, and we do help out with empowering others. We are not psychologists either, but are willing to help you make a plan to, you know, become more self-aware, become more confident. So thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Terrific. Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time and energy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.